So in this video, we're going to be cleaning this Henry 22 lever action. And to get started, we're going to remove the buttstock here. This is just held on by one flathead screw, and then the entire thing should come off. So we just screw out, that pulls right out. Now let's remove these two screws here, and same thing on the other side. So now with a screwdriver that fits a little bit better, we're going to take these bolts out. It's important that these screwdrivers fit so you don't strip out the bolts. So with these 4 screws out, this whole assembly here should pop out, but before we do that, we're gonna pull this back. Now let's pull this out. It just slides right out. And here is our bolt. You can see that there, and this little cover that slides over this. So now we can go ahead and remove a piece here. And you can start to see into the mechanism here. It is definitely something in there. Now I have access all the way down the barrel, so you can clean that out, and then we can also clean some of these components and the piece. All right, so here's our cleaning kit. We can go ahead and take out the rods. These all thread together so we can get some length long enough to go all the way down the barrel. So now for the cleaner, I'm gonna be using Hop's gun bore cleaner, and it does say on the back, contains kerosene. So this is probably a mixture with kerosene in it. I've never tried just using kerosene instead, but we're gonna use this. We're gonna take the cotton cloth and dip this in here just to get that saturated. And now what we'll do, set that down, and I'm gonna take this rod and carefully take it through the barrel, very slowly. Perfect fit. It'll come out the end there. Now what we'll do is thread the cloth here back on, and then we'll pull it through in the direction that the bullet is firing through the gun. So what we ended up having to do was take that piece of cloth and cut it in half so it's a little bit thinner. It was too big. It was just getting all wadded up and wouldn't go through the barrel. So I have some more cleaner on there. And now let's go ahead and run this through the barrel and how it actually fits. You can definitely see we got some dirt there. So let's go ahead and take the tip off and run that through again. So when you're pulling this through, this handle here is just spinning. And what that's doing is when you're pulling it through, that cloth can just go with the rifling really easy and clean the rifling as well. So when we pull this through, then that's also spinning along and cleaning the rifling. All right, now with this in here, we can go ahead and thread the brush on and then pull this through. So now we're gonna go ahead and pull the brush through in the same direction that the bullet goes through. We're not gonna pull it back and forth. We're just gonna drag it through. You can definitely feel it spinning with the rifling, and a little bit of dirt on there, but really what that cleaning rag did was it got some of the loose dirt, and that also left cleaning solution on the barrel. So when you're running this through, the cleaning solution has had a little bit of time to really get that stuff that's just really hard on the walls there. And now this is really cleaning that out nicely. So now we're just going to run this through one more time. That run was pretty clean, but you just want to do this until you don't see any dirt anymore. All right. Now that definitely looks clean. So now what we're going to do is start cleaning some of the parts. So I just have some kerosene and an old toothbrush just to clean this up and get it running nice and smoothly, and then we'll actually add some lubricating oil whenever we assemble everything back together. So now we'll just wipe off all the kerosene with a cotton cloth. Make sure we get all of this off. I'm just going to take the toothbrush and just clean up the areas that could have just buildup. So we're gonna scrub all this down and make sure that this part here is clean as well. Now we can go ahead and just dry everything off with this rag. Make sure we've taken all the kerosene off. So if you want, you can use some 3-in-1 oil, or you can just use lubricating oil. This is hops. And we're just gonna lubricate all the pieces as we put them back in, and then I'll also lubricate the pieces in here and the actual mechanism. So now we'll just drop in the oil where it's needed and work it in. And now we'll get a little bit on the hammer down in there so that will glide nice and smooth. So before we put the bolt back in, we're just gonna put lubricating oil on this as well. So we want everything to be sliding nice and smooth, especially on those moving parts. Those need to be able to glide smooth. Now this goes into this piece in this direction because this piece pushes up against the hammer. And now let's go ahead and slide this back onto the gun. Just wiggle everything until it just kind of snaps into place, because when the hammer is back like this, this piece has to kind of snap in to be able to get it to fit. So you just have to work that over the hammer. Went back a little too far there, I think. Oh, I think I got it actually. There we go. And now I'm just gonna put a little bit of lubrication in there right on the slide. So when this slides back and forth, that just makes it a little bit easier and smoother. I gotta say, this sure is moving smooth. Now I'm gonna start putting these bolts back in here. And the other one on this side. So we'll just tighten those up, get them nice and tight, both of them. We don't want those coming out. Now we can go ahead and flip it over and put the bolts on the other side. And go on the other side. So now we can go ahead and put the stock back on, but this really is beautiful. There's some serious craftsmanship or CNC work that went into making this. This is actually solid walnut. Now, at first, the finish on here is like a perfect satin finish, and it's so smooth. It feels like it's plastic just from feeling it. Like, it's like you didn't know you could get wood this smooth. But when you look in here, this is definitely walnut, and they did a good job at that. But now we're gonna go ahead and take this and put it back on the end here. Let's see. Of course, I was trying to put it on upside down. Make sure it's going on the right way. And then we can go ahead and put this bolt back on here. Yeah, so I can definitely feel that this is much smoother than what it was before, and it was definitely in need of just lubrication and cleaning. So now we'll go ahead and clean off the bullet tension rod, and I'll put a little bit of the oil on here just to get this gliding in and out real smooth. Slide that in. Yeah, that's nice. So now we can just give this a nice wipe down, make sure it's clean and free of any oils that may have gotten on it. And this definitely is nice and clean and much cleaner than what it was before and much smoother than what it was before. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.